So the
Okay.
Army Cup is like, instead of having like the best shot of the semester, what we did was we all go up and we shoot on one day,
Right.
and then everyone submits their best shot from that day.
Right. Oh, so it's a 1 day thing. Okay, so it's not like a whole semester thing.
No, no, this is like a one day in one like sort of neighborhood.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Okay.
if they're if you know if they can't make it that day, they can shoot something wherever they are, but it has to be
Right.
on that day, basically.
Right. Okay, so that's a tough one.
Okay.
I like 15. I like I like the guy. He's got his eyes closed. I like the other eyes in the frame. I like how the whole thing's framed. I like the little mirror up there. So there's just more to see, and in a very strange way, there's like a four people enveloping one person in the middle, but it also doesn't look like an ambush either. So it just feels interesting to me. There's I feel like I can imagine more as I look at the frame. Like I want to know more. I feel like there's a bit of a sub stories going on between all the people, the
Mhm.
little facets of life, I guess, in a very small space, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's basically a crowded elevator. So
Yeah, it's a crowded elevator, but I think the photographer did enough to show different things because
mhm.
he could have easily gone, it could have we could have missed so many faces and there are some eyes there, I and everyone's looking like they're offering different stories
Okay.
to me. So yeah, so I think um
About the exposure. So
yeah, I know the exposure is definitely a problem, but I still feel like I'm not too bothered by the mistake, especially now that I'm hearing that it was like a 1 day challenge thing.
okay,
I'm less bothered by that. The lady in the nail salon,
okay.
yeah, it's just her hair and all the mannequins at the back and all the faces, and she's got a lipstick that looks like the mannequins. So it's like it's
Yeah.
I find that really interesting. It just feels like a surreal type of moment. And I'm glad that she's not looking down on her phone, that she actually looked up. So I think that's not always not it doesn't always work when somebody look at the camera, but I think this one does.
Hmm. That's an
Um,
interesting question, actually. When does it work and when doesn't it work? When does looking at the camera ruin a shot, and when does it not?
well, in this case, we definitely needed to see her eyes,
Yeah, yeah,
right? And I think as she looked at the photographer, I also don't think she didn't change her expression. So if you look at her eyebrows, it's still like, it's very thin. It's like basically, I think she just did the mannequins according to her. It looks like so there's a
yeah.
whole thing. And I think she's got enough about her. I think it's great that she looks exactly like she does. If this was somebody else with a different hair, different lipstick, maybe it wouldn't work the same.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of glad that she looks like she's the one who set up all the mannequins. So yeah, I
There's a
think
lot of
that's
stories that pop into my head when I see it. Like,
yeah, no,
does
it's
she have little
definitely
classes? Does she have people come in and say, "Okay, make all the mannequins look like me"?
yeah,
Is that the assignment?
exactly, exactly. It's like, oh, look, I've done me to look like all these, so I'm good at my job. So,
Yeah.
the other ones, I like the story with the mom and boy, grandmother, grandson, or mother and son,
Yeah.
um, uh,
Teaching them to read.
teaching. Yeah, it's a really nice, quiet moment, um, and I love the expression of the boy. Yeah, but I love the moment. I love the details. I love the mom's fingers touching thumb and um, thumb and index finger. It's got little nice little details about it.
Yeah, it's a nice little subway scene.
Yeah, it's a really nice scene. Um, yeah, I think it's yeah, not a typical street photograph that we would see these days, but it's it's still a nice photograph, I think.
Yeah.
Um, the one in the rain, I think it's a nice little story. I caught the poster late. I was looking at this photo and I passed over it a few times, and then I saw the poster at the end, and I was like, "Oh, okay, the poster helps." I think.
Yeah, that's nearby where I work, and that poster is huge.
Yeah. So the poster is like, "Please let the
Woman,
rain stop."
it's like one of those religious cult things.
Oh wow. Oh okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. So it's almost like, yeah, please let the rain stop, kind of
Mm.
addition to the story. So it's like a poster that I feel like it relates to the photograph. So
Yeah.
I think it's there. Um, I also like the two kids. Initially I thought it was one adult with two kids, but then I realized later that the kid on the left actually belongs to the adult in front. It was difficult to see at first, but I can see that.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
little bit cluttered of a frame, and
it
it's
is. Yeah, it is. And then the last one, it's just, man, I looked at it and I was like, oh, the layer is nice, but then I'm not sure if it's got anything else that I would write home about.
okay. Cool.
Yeah.
My name is Suresh Naganathan, born in Switzerland, but I've moved to India almost 2 decades ago now, 18 years. I've been photographing the streets since 2014, at first as a hobby, and then like since 2020, I've been doing it a lot more passionately. Mostly the streets of Mumbai, the festivals of Mumbai, life around the city. And yeah, and I conduct workshops in Mumbai, in India, one-on-one or small groups. Yep, that's all about me.
So the individual shots, these were all shot on one day.
Okay.
So I don't really like to have them for individual shots. I don't really like to have them pick their best of for the semester, because it's not much of a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, some people might shoot like a lot more than others. I like the fact that it was all shot in one day. So.
Yeah, so we go to one place and everyone goes out and shoots the same area. I mean, if they can, and then we choose a shot from that day. That's more interesting.
Yeah. So for me, okay, I quite like this one because of that obviously ghost hand that came. So there were like 3 or 4 shots that stood out for me.
Mm-hmm.
One was this one. The next one as well. I quite like that one.
That's number 2.
Yeah, number 2 is in this one. Her face looks so similar to the mannequins behind. It's awesome. Number 4 I liked because I thought it was a lovely emotional moment. Yeah, this one. And it's 14 because it was quite a nice layered picture. I like the tilt and the eye contact, or at least I mean the woman who's kind of looking. And this one I've been going a little back and forth. I think it is, and the hand is all right. The rest of the scene is a bit distracting. I mean, but it's still I don't know how much of it is luck or whatever. If the photographer saw the hand and did it, but still I quite like these kind of disembodied shadows. So yeah.
The personal small series.
I definitely like Double Trouble. I thought that was fun. Which is Double Trouble is number 4.
Okay.
So I definitely thought that was fun. I think that's kind of like something I thought was a bit more surprising for me.
Why was it surprising?
Because as I looked at the other ones, I felt like it's obvious how it's selected. It felt a bit. It's not
a bit.
It's not surprising to me.
Right. Okay.
But the word surprising is so bad because it's like I've seen a million photos. Like you and I have seen a million things. So
Yeah.
it's so surprise for us is not the same as surprise for other people.
True.
But for me, Double Trouble, when I looked at it, I felt like, oh, this is interesting. I just felt that without really knowing and understanding why.
Mhm.
It just probably looks so different from everybody else's work.
Right.
I don't know if that's a good way of judging, but it just looks different to other people's work. Maybe, but because it's also shot at night, it's also got a little bit more movement in it. It's got a little bit, the composition I think looks a little cleaner.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I just thought it was interesting. I'm not saying it's the best one. I just thought like, oh, this is interesting, and it stuck with me. So rhapsody means an effusive, enthusiastic expression of feeling. It hurts me to say this, but I don't think the work
Is the same.
fits the name.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So but I like the photos. I just don't think the name works.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, yeah. Even in Chinese, I guess Huangqiang is a rhapsody, variations on a rhapsody.
Yeah. So maybe he sequenced it, or he or she, I don't know, but it sequenced it according to some kind of feeling,
Uh-huh.
right? Which I'm not sure I completely understand. I still think the photographs are interesting. So that's me. I like individual photographs. I like the seeming connection between, legs and tools, and maybe that might be part of it, because it looks like they're kind of like a tool going on. You see, in a lot of the photos, there's like a tool comparison, juxtaposition going on
Hmm.
between two things.
Yeah.
Right, like even the photo of the man sleeping by the tree, it's like man and tree, right? And then the monk and the bike, and then
Yeah.
the old lady and the bike behind her, and the two legs that are hanging off, that are
Yeah.
showing up from the table. So it's a kind of tool, it's a kind of play,
Mhm.
so I find the photographs interesting. I don't think the name really helped me understand it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still find five an interesting set of images that have somehow come together.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe he is playing some kind of music. one can be optimistic about that.
Sure. Yeah. Give them the benefit of the doubt.
I think Sonia, I think we're going to number 6 now.
Yeah.
With number 6, I don't like all the photographs. In number 6, I feel like I like maybe half the photos.
Mhm.
I like, in number 6, I like number 1, 3, 2, 3, and 8. I thought they were interesting ones. Through the cracks, and I can, again, I don't think the name particularly fits.
Do you
Through the
know?
cracks.
Do you know what that implies? The phrase "through the cracks."
Well, in an idiom kind of way, you mean?
Yeah.
So through the, like, someone's just like kind of fallen off the crack, right? Like fallen off, like
Fallen out of society and
yeah. So, but do you feel like do you feel that way about the photographs?
some of them. I
Some
feel
of
that
them,
way. I
yeah.
feel way about like number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8.
That works in that sense, you mean?
That have some. They
How
evoke.
do you see number 2 having that effect?
I mean the effect of the person behind the glass. I don't know. To me, it feels like someone who's left behind. It's someone who's fallen asleep.
Okay. I see where you're coming at it from now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It gives me that feeling. It looks like a rainy day or something, or there's probably frosting on the cars, and it's night, and it's like, it's kind of a depressing, hopeless shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in that case, man, okay. I think you decided it for me.
Right.
But through the cracks, I think through your understanding, and if that's how she's also showing it, then yes, I get it now.
Mhm.
It helps.
Okay.
I think that helped me understand.
Just to like in like
Series.
society is like this sort of
Yeah.
grid, and like it's holding most of us up, but some people are falling through the cracks as
Well,
well.
no, makes sense. It makes perfect sense now.
Yeah.
And actually, it gives this series much more context than the other ones.
Okay.
Because the other ones I think are more literal.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I'm being watched,
Yeah. That's fairly.
or number 13, which seems to be just frames, right? I don't know the name. Yeah, and then number 16, which is like traces and transitions. I mean, that stopped me a little bit. And TC, I'm gonna tell you something. I have lately found myself deciding that if a photo stops me and I'm not even knowing why it stopped me, but I'm spending a little longer on it, then I think maybe it's being successful.
Yeah.
So I think this series is successful because it keeps me thinking and staying with it.
Yeah. I mean, her work tends to be a little bit more surreal and abstract.
Yeah.
I still think that she has a very powerful sense of observation.
Okay.
But it's a very subtle sense of observation.
All the better.
She doesn't tend to do like in your face kind of things.
So you can tell her that I stopped at her work the longest.
Okay.
And I think that's why it works. So
And
traces, go on.
do you get what kind of feeling do you get from this series though?
Well, the names, man. I really wish I could read Mandarin because I feel like they probably have better names in Mandarin.
What sense do you get from this series of photos?
I get traces for sure. Like I get a feeling of
What is interesting about this to me is that it's not your traditional street photography.
no, and I was wondering which direction you wanted to go because I did like it.
I like it. I like that about it.
Yeah.
I like that it speaks without having to rely on what we typically rely on in street photography to move people in a photo.
Yeah.
And I find that interesting, and that's a challenge for me. But like it's you have to have really I guess sensitive eye to noting all the details and what this photo is really kind of saying.
That's what I'm saying. I think we stopped here because there's a reason we both stopped here.
Right.
So,
Because the photos make me think, okay, on the face of it, why would I want to look at this scene? But then I start looking at it, I'm like, yeah, it's just a wall and a couple of things tied to it. Like, oh, but no, wait, they're like holding this wire in place and the wall is about to fall down and there's a crack down the middle and there's like destruction behind it.
Yeah.
And like maybe these two things are like the only thing that are holding this wall together.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I'm thinking about all these possibilities.
Yeah.
Like the stickers, like those are all like from like a marathon or something. Like, did someone like collect marathon runners, stickers for some reason? What are they trying to? What happened?
Yeah.
Or just it's all like it makes me think like this is a record of something that happened, a passage of time.
Passage of time. That's what I was looking for. Good. Thank God. I was lost for words for a minute. I think what the word trace got me to thinking about passage of time
on the physical world.
Yeah, that's what I was searching for. That's what that's sort of a description that I was looking for, was that as I look at these photos and you asked me like how did I feel?
Yeah.
I was relating it to time.
Mm-hmm.
I was relating it to time, but I couldn't find the right word. So passage of time, I think that's what it is. It's like because with time you're left with traces. Like you're not left with the whole thing. You're just left with a trace of it.
Right.
And I think that's what this series made me feel. Now, why I didn't initially pick this, and I was even going to ask you, because this is a type of series that potentially gets other people upset if it's picked. Because it's not what most street photography workshops teach.
Well, don't worry about people getting upset, because it's my
That's good.
yeah.
That's a given, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, but you know exactly what I mean now, because you laughed. So I think you know exactly what I mean. This one stopped me, so I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, this I like this, and I think so. Okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm being watched. I'm gonna close that because I think that's too literal. The frames, number 13. I'm gonna close that because that's too literal. I'm gonna keep Sonia. I'm gonna keep that open. Number 5 is Double Trouble. I'm gonna keep that open because I still don't understand what. Oh, sorry, not Double Trouble. Number 5 is what? It was the name of it? Rhapsody. Okay, I'm gonna keep that open.
Yeah.
Number 4, Double Trouble. I'm gonna keep that open for now. And then Frame Live. So not that.
Rhapsody the Ordinary. So I don't know if that resonated with you at all, or
The title.
Yeah.
The title, not so much. But I quite like the fact that these are taken from ordinary days.
Uh-huh.
Speaking, I like the observations, the different observations here. Is it totally coherent as a small set? I'm not too sure, but still, I think it. I mean, I like the observations. They're quite strange. It shows me a side of the city that feels surreal. So this one really stood out to me.
Mhm.
Yeah, especially. I mean, the moment I saw this one, I think it was there was no questions. Again, a little bit similar in the sense that these are like pretty strange occurrences that happen in the city. Little weird moments, the small details. Again, it's a nice game of observation on this one,
Mhm.
kind of.
Do you get any kind of sense of the theme that the photographer is going for?
I mean, the way I'm seeing it is like, I mean, you do you, titled in 3D. I'm not sure, but I mean, what I felt was that the photographer was going for. I mean, was finding these small little moments, things that felt out of the ordinary
Mm.
in whatever they've encountered in the day-to-day life. Again, not super coherent. Like that Balenciaga one is not as strong as some of the other ones. I like the one with the kid with those two things in the back, the kid with the thing in the nose. There are like, yeah, these small details are attracted me to this set.
Okay.
I quite like 16 as well.
So that
This one felt different, traces and transition. I think it was pretty felt quite coherent. I'm not too sure about the last one. I didn't even. I mean, I don't.
this one.
Yeah, in the set, but I thought the rest was interesting. Again, more like, yeah, traces, things that are left behind,
Yeah.
things that the photographer came across, which I quite liked, I think.
I think what the photographer was going for was a bit of a sense of how things transition over time a little
Yeah.
bit. The effects of time on things. So next, I guess the group series.
Yes, the group series, to be honest, was probably my least favorite. I would say thing. I felt they were.
The group series is hard because it's very difficult to express your individuality in a group, and so
Yeah,
there's always
exactly. Yeah, so it felt like, a little dissonant in most of the cases. There was not like really a lot of coherence in them.
first one is called Olympics, for
Olympics.
I guess obvious reasons.
Yeah, almost the most coherent one. Yeah, even in like, I mean, I don't know, the third one didn't really fit in much. Yeah.
The drinking water Olympics, I suppose. I'm not sure if you can really get the context of this. Maybe this is more about places that are sort of fading.
Yeah, I think this one felt a lot more coherent. Yeah, fading. I had like a little bit of
Like this.
mood of loneliness kind of coming out of it.
Uh,
Um, yeah, but an older world that's kind of disappearing. So this one felt a lot more coherent to me. And these are themes that I also resonate with, because probably like every places that is transitioning, Mumbai is the same. There's a lot of gentrification that's happening, so probably that's why I resonated with this
yeah,
a little more. Yeah, so this one I quite liked.
like gestures, I suppose.
Yeah, this is just gestures. Here the subject is all right, the pictures are all right, I agree, but I didn't resonate so much with the subject.
The next is group series.
So I'm looking at number 4 now, hand signal. I just thought compositionally this was nice. I'm not sure if I have a feeling one way or another about it more than just that, which is like
Nice.
compositionally interesting. Number 4, the hand signal. Yeah, well, yeah, hand signals. I think that's just it. Like nice shots, but the
Yeah.
one with the spiders to the fly.
Yeah.
I find those pictures more interesting.
Right. This is actually, they explained to me what they're going for.
Right.
And I came up with a name for them. And I
I
explained.
was
okay. You have to Google it?
I didn't Google anything. I just liked the name. I was like, wow, okay, the name's cool.
Okay. Well,
And
it's from a poem. It's from a
It's-
poem, an English or an American poem. And it
Right,
starts
okay.
out, the first line is something like, come into my parlor, said the spider to the fly.
Right. Oh yeah. Okay. Vaguely.
Might have-
Vaguely coming to me now. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
No,
And so it's all about
yeah.
entrapment, and how
I
the
see.
dangers that we're in, so the dangers that we're surrounded by, and how we're sort of we're maneuvering through those dangers, sort of thing.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I found the photos interesting. I think compositionally number 4 is nice. Number 5 has more interpretation available for me. Right. Like I look at the photos and I think about other stuff that not just like, oh, nice composition.
It's deeper.
It's deeper. Yeah, that's a good word. So looks is, I'm looking at number 3. Yeah, still a bit literal. Number 3. I'm gonna go to number 2. Number 2 is still here. Still here. Okay, I didn't like the photos that much. And then number 1 is Olympics. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
I think
Yeah.
Olympics is a bit more fun now. Knowing that it's a group work. I
Yeah.
think it's a nice pattern that they spotted among their own work.
Okay.
So set the spider to the fly. I like it because of the imaginative power to it. I just felt like it has more room for me to. What was the word that you used before? It's deeper. Yeah, it's deeper.
Yeah.
And I like Olympics because it's group work, and it's nice that in a group you're able to find patterns that match each other and come up with an interesting theme for it. So I like that.
Okay.
And then hand signals is just nice composition.
That's
Likely
fine.
not likely nothing else for me. I divide up my advice into two directions.
Mhm.
For photographers who are still not very confident with their composition, my advice would be to pick a composition to work on for a period of time.
When you say a composition, what do you mean?
A skill. Like if you want to work on light and shadows, then work on that for a little while. Like without actually worrying whether you're getting good photos or not.
Okay.
Like focus on a skill. If you're not comfortable with your camera, then focus on that for a few months. Like get comfortable with the camera.
Okay.
Or pick a skill, right? Like I think that's one of the advice I've been giving like people who are not very proficient with making pictures yet. Like they're still weak compositionally or weak with their own camera. Then I would say like, yeah, pick a skill, work on a skill. Don't worry about a picture. Like, don't worry about getting good pictures.
Okay.
That's an advice for less for more beginner like photographers, I think, or intermediate ones that still want to work on a skill.
Right.
More advanced one or more intermediate and advanced ones, I would encourage them to photograph more like the more like the series that we looked at, or more like the photographer who did a normal holiday,
Mhm.
where it seems to be that these two photographers are photographing more from their feelings. They're not worried about the composition anymore. They've gone beyond that.
Mhm.
So,
And yet the composition is quite good.
because they understand it already.
Right. Yeah.
So you see, like
But
if I'm very good at light and shadows already, I don't have to think about it anymore.
Right. It's just instinct.
Exactly. So it's like light and shadows. Like if you look at, I mean, I can say this now because I've been doing it like 15 years. 7 years ago, I don't think I could have told you this, but now I can. I feel like I'm looking at stuff. I'm looking at the world now. I'm not worried about the composition anymore.
Mhm.
Because I know that I can take a picture of this and I know how I'm going to compose the moment that I've chosen. But choosing the thing to photograph becomes much more important than worrying about the composition. The composition follows that.
Mhm.
But for a beginner to tell them to do that, and I have done that, I find them get much more lost because their pictures look shit. So it's almost like so asking them to be intuitive on day one hurts their work because they haven't worked on a composition skill. They're not good with their camera. They're looking at stuff. I find that their intuition to pick a thing to photograph is really, really good, but they don't know how to communicate that thing.
Right.
So for a photographer who already understand composition, my advice would be get away from the composition. Don't worry about getting good pictures, but pick the thing to photograph, which I think is more in line with the two photographers we spent the most time talking about.
That makes a lot of sense.
So when you said yet the composition is very good, I liked what you said because that tells me that they are composing after they have already chosen what they would like to photograph.
Mhm.
Which and they're comfortable. They know that they can compose this. That's why for me, I feel like I'm I feel like I'm dividing up my advice to different types of people. Like if you haven't learned composition, I would say like just learn that for a while and don't worry whether you're getting good pictures or not.
But how would you suggest they learn composition? I would say look at other people's work. But
I
how else would you say that?
No, I do that. I don't know how I don't know how focused you are in that advice. My advice is very focused. Is pick 3 people, actually study those people's work, find a pattern in their work that sticks out,
Mhm.
that feels most interesting to you,
Mhm.
and then learn and then practice that one skill, whichever one sticks out.
That's
And
good.
so like some photographers will have like this half composition. They always compose everything half, like top half and bottom half.
Mhm.
Then practice that for a while. And what I found is people get really frustrated when they have to actually practice a skill
Yeah.
for a couple of reasons. One, it gets boring fast. And two, I don't because they're not getting good pictures, it becomes frustrating. The practice becomes frustrating.
Right. Because
But
it looks what we do looks so simple.
I think I've realized again, in the short time that I've done this, I feel like the best students are the ones that just keep at it.
Mhm.
They don't, they don't. Yeah, they want good pictures, but I can see that they just keep at it.
We both know that there's a type of photograph that is very popular. It gets a bunch of likes on Instagram.
That's the fucked up part, to be honest with you, because I've come to realize that I was teaching, the stuff that I do, like color, gestures, and I was wondering, like, how come the pictures are still shit? Like, it's surprising to me. Like, if I just go out and shoot color and shadows, how come the pictures are still shit? Like, what separates a good picture from a well composed one? And that gap was confusing to me for a long time on how to teach that, and then I kind of landed on the word ambiguity that
Mhm.
I just but I've struggled to explain it, but I'm trying to explain it more and more now, which is like how do you look at a photograph and go, well, that's a nice photograph, and my filter is the photo looks ambiguous. I don't like a photo that looks too easy for me to understand.
Right.
And those photos are popular, and that's okay. It's not for me.
Right. I understand it. But I also
Yeah.
kind of think, if I could add to that,
Yeah.
it's almost like a strategic ambiguity. I mean, it's an
Right. It's
ambiguity
planned.
was planned or
Yeah.
seen, observed by
Yeah.
the photographer
Yeah.
and communicated through the photo. It's not just like some random ambiguity.
Which comes from knowing how to communicate and how to compose exactly that
Right.
way.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree. I agree with that, certainly.
So
The,
it's
the
almost like you need to learn in steps. Baby, like you can actually learn this in steps because it takes a long time to get to that point.
What I've seen, like especially with some of the series work and all that, is that a lot of them are. I mean, I don't know how the scene is in Taiwan, but like for example, in India, what I'm noticing is that a lot of images are very similar to each other. So most people shoot the same thing in pretty much the same way, which I didn't find in this work. I mean, the work that you sent me. I think a lot of the photographers had a pretty distinct voice from each other, which I think it's very commendable. So I think they just need to keep honing that, keep honing their individuality. Uh, it's just a matter of time, and just need to spend more time shooting if it's something they enjoy doing.
Mhm.
I think they're doing pretty decent work. So it's really now a matter of putting in more time in it. It's
Yeah. Some of the students have actually told me, like when they first started shooting years ago, and I would say when you're starting out, you really have to shoot as much as possible. But after many years of shooting, they find that they're shooting less than they shooted before. So I kind of feel like once you achieve a certain level, actually you might start shooting less, but your hit rate gets higher.
Yeah, for sure. I think like especially after a few years, they tend to shoot less. But yeah, the number of images that they come back with is, I mean, stronger. I mean, like there are more good images that they come back with, even though they're shooting less. So definitely the hit rate is higher. Um, but there is also what I've observed with some of my students is that there's also a sense of comfort that they get into,
Oh, yeah.
where they know that there is a certain um, subject matter or a certain compositional quote unquote trick that they've mastered, so they kind of keep doing that, and there's always a risk of repeating yourself. So while I understand that sometimes you need to go back to the same thing and shooting like pretty much the same way so that you refine your eye, sometimes it also gets easier to just like, okay, well, I mean, I can do layers, so I'm just going to do layers without necessarily adding anything more to it. Or I can do like, visual puns, and I'll just keep doing that. So I try to tell my students to keep looking at work that is as different as theirs as possible, so that it gives them new ideas on just seeing the world in a different perspective, and then from there it might kick them out of their own comfort zone.
Definitely looking at different work is vital. And I tell my students to go, we don't have that many bookshops, photo bookshops here. We have a few, but I tell them they definitely have to spend more time just looking at other people's work, like actual books, not on their phones, because I feel like so much of the subtlety of photography is lost with sites like Instagram.
Oh yeah, 100%. You can't. I mean, there is no way that people spend attention on an image which is not like striking in the first microsecond. If they'll just scroll, and a lot of photography is about the smaller details, the little things that you need time to look at. I think the problem is that photo books are expensive, so most people can't afford them. Like especially in South Asia, for example, they tend to be like really expensive. We have a couple of at least one big book library in Mumbai, so I tell them to go there. And then from time to time, I have a pretty big collection, so I invite people over so that they get to see books. The next best thing is at least to look at Flickr on a computer screen. I think at least you get to see, and Flickr is a good archive of the last 15 years of street photography, at least.
20 actually, it's
20,
2004, I think.
Yeah, so there is some some good work. You can really see like the evolution of the genre when you go to groups like hardcore street photography or others that have been around for like 2 decades.
I don't know if you found this with students, but it's really a bad idea to try and make a bad photo good with processing.
Yeah, 100%. I mean that's like one of the first thing that I tell my students, like minimal processing. Don't you can't save an image by putting lipstick on it. You just have to let them go. And yeah, I think that is something that a lot of students have absorbed pretty easily. Yeah, some of the other things is really like, I think the problem or the challenge in India, and I mean I fall into it as well, although less nowadays. Nowadays I focus a lot more on specific events, but events and festivals are such a big part of the life here that most people tend to focus mostly on those elements, which means that a lot of day-to-day life, which is harder to get, they don't do it, so I have to kind of keep pushing people to go document everything. Have your camera with you at all times, and just you have to have it at all times. The number of times when I'm like, today I'm not going to take it, and that's when like something really striking happens in front of your eyes. I'm like, no. So
yeah, I mean, if you want to start seeing really good images, the best way is to fill up your memory card. So you have like 2 shots left.
Exactly.
All sorts of images everywhere you go. I guarantee it. Do you ask permission when you take pictures? I don't get the feeling that you do. You just take.
No, I don't. I just take pictures. But I think in India the advantage is that people are really photo friendly. So the bigger challenge is to get a candid shot from people, without them posing and or like take this guy's shot. But with practice, you get a lot more invisible. But I'm never asked for permission.
So is the social media aspect in because I know that social media can make people very toxic and suspicious about other people. They think, oh, you're taking my pictures so you can report me doing something bad or something like that. Do you get a lot of that?
During COVID, I used to get a lot of that. Now, not so much. From time to time, depends, like maybe on the neighborhood. But the fact is, I dress like a tourist. So most people can't really understand where I'm from, because the Indians usually they never wear, for example, shorts or t-shirts. They're usually like with full pants and a shirt. So when they see me, they kind of feel that I'm an outsider. So it's usually easier,
Right.
So, but no. More often than not, people are okay. I think like maybe once or twice a year, I'll have like a guy who will come up to me and maybe really question, but otherwise it's mostly fine.
How do you communicate to your students that the work is about expressing themselves more than just getting people's attention?
It's something I try to narrow down as much as possible. So whenever I do mostly like, one-on-one on 1 or 2 workshops. So doing those workshops, we spend a lot of time walking, but then just discussing. And the whole idea is that I tell them like what I see, we walk together, what I see, what catches my eye. And the whole idea is to tell them to know themselves as much as possible, understand what are their trigger points. And it's not about, composition or, I mean, those things you need them, but they're just like your building blocks to figure out like, okay, what are the things that really catch your eyes. And sometimes it can be as simple as the light, like the last series, but more often than not, it is things that connect with you at a deeper level, that are based on your life experiences, the things that you like, the movies, the music, all these things, So I try to tell them to slow down and to focus on those things. And it takes time. It's all a question of time and of understanding, of sometimes just relooking at your work, and you might miss things that, or you might have not noticed that there are some things that you're subconsciously attracted to. And that only when you start looking at your work and maybe putting them together into small albums, you start noticing that there are specific themes that you connect with.
Do you teach primarily Indian students or non-Indian students?
No, it's kind of 50-50. I do Indian students, which for them it's either we do like I have some group workshops, or sometimes I do like a little longer mentoring sessions. Foreigners, it's mostly people who come to Mumbai, want to visit the city, and then they want to do like a street photography. Some of them really want to learn, some of them just want to visit the city. So yeah, I get like those different kinds. And I know the city pretty well. So Mumbai being, it's not like the most touristic city in the world. So usually like the guidebooks will have like 3-4 places where people will go. But the city has a lot more to offer. So I kind of take them to other locations which can be interesting, visually, photographically, or culturally. So yeah.
It's difficult. I think there's always a temptation to, you see something that's a picture of yours that's really strong and it's gotten like a lot of positive attention, and like, well, I have to put that in, but it really doesn't. It doesn't necessarily help the work itself. So
yeah, it's a constant tussle for everybody. Just like you feel emotionally attached to certain images, and you want to make them fit into a larger narrative, and sometimes it just doesn't.